Would you like to know how to use Freyna to completely screen wipe enemies faster than Bunny and do it with absolutely zero investment in catalysts and activators? Well, you've come to the right place, guys, because today I'm going to tell you exactly how to do just that. Let's get it. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Worthy Prince coming at ya with another First Descendant video, and in this video I'm going to be going over my budget, pretty much straight out the box Freyna build. Now, as you may know, the 10th of October, which is only 10 days away now, is when we get the next big update to the First Descendant, and that's going to include, as well as many other things, Ultimate Freyna and 2 new Ultimate Transcendent mods to go with it. However, before that update comes, we have had a previous patch, and during that patch, what we actually got was a buff to Freyna's Transcendent mods, in particular the Contagion mod. You can now spread poison across enemies extremely fast and they explode, and the damage is kind of devastating. Now, the reason I want to put this video out there today is to let you guys know that you really shouldn't be upgrading your standard Freyna too much. Now, of course, if you already did, then it is what it is. But if you're just unlocking Freyna now for the first time because you want to unlock her, or maybe you had her before and you never upgraded her, before you go running in to recatalyze Freyna, check this out. This build I have here is a out-the-box Freyna, and I have not put any energy activators in her, and I've not put any catalysts in her at all. And even having 0 upgrades on this Descendant, I am still able, yes, even with 2,300 HP and 9,000 defense, able to go into Kuiper mining and absolutely shred the enemies without having to really lift a finger. To be honest with you, I can just stand there and watch them die. I can get Kuiper mining done in around 10 to 11 minutes if I'm the only Freyna in there. And if there's another Freyna doing exactly the same build I've actually done a Kuiper mining session on the sterile lands in under 8 minutes 30, which is extremely quick. So what I'm going to do is run through this build with you and show you exactly how I have this set up, so you can basically go out there and destroy mobs like an absolute pro and literally not have to worry too much about upgrades. So let's just take a look at the setup I have, and yeah, you guys could play this for the next few days to kind of get upgrade your weapons and stuff in Kuiper mining and just get a feel for Freyna and see if it's a Descendant that you like actually playing with. So let's jump into the Descendant module and let's take a look at how I've got these mods set up. And as you can see, we have a capacity of 60, which, and you can see there, no energy activator has been put in, and the only catalyst slots which we have catalyzed are the 2 that come standard with Freyna. It's those 2 R slots, the rutile sockets, which you'll get anyway, just unlocking her. So we haven't put any extra catalysts in. So you can see we're using the new buffed Contagion mod. We have leveled it up, so we've spent 5 million gold leveling this up, and I'm running mid-air maneuvering with her just to get around the map a bit easier. And then as far as the mods go, we put one maxed out attacking mod in here, which is a tech power modifier. The reason we go for tech is because on Freyna, her abilities are tech. You can see the number 1, which is what you're going to use to throw the poison out, is a tech skill, and number 3 is also a tech skill, which is the putrid venom. This one is my favorite because it actually stays on the floor a lot longer, and that way you can continually poison people or enemies a lot longer as well. So it's the 1 and the 3 that you're going to be activating for this build, okay? So yes, focus on tech will buff both of those skills, and you get some skill cooldown too, which is kind of nice. Now, the next thing you will need to do is increase the range of the attack. So we're going to maximize that with maximize range, 94% skill effect range, and skill expansion, 92.3% extra. We're going to use both of those to get as much range as possible on our attack. And then the final one you need to put in that's completely maxed out is, and luckily there's 2 R slots in here, so we can get this in at a discounted price, the skill duration, just so we can have that poison up as long as possible. Now, you will be left with 6 on the capacity, so I just put in an unupgraded focus on toxic, because of course both of the skills are toxic, and we get an extra 19% toxic skill power, but most importantly, we get that 6.1% extra cooldown. We don't really have the room here to put nimble fingers in, but of course, once we start upgrading Ultimate Freyna, we are going to be increasing the amount of cooldown we have. So we're going to be putting things in like Nimble Fingers. We're going to increase our HP. So we're going to put a HP mod in, something like Battle of Stamina to give us extra skill duration on the poison, as well as extra HP, and maybe some extra defense, possibly something like Iron Defense or Spear and Shield. And then we could even go into things like Front Lines, Emergency Measures, or we could go for the blue ones like, what's it called? Skill Concentration and Skill Insight. Much later on when we decide to try and upgrade her fully with the Ultimate Freyna, we'll ramp up the damage, we'll increase the cooldowns, we'll increase our survivability. But for now, we don't need to worry about any of that stuff because this build right here with 0 upgrades is gonna absolutely shred the enemies completely. You can see here from this Kuiper mining that you are able to actually go from one point of the map right over here and make your way all the way across to the other side of the map just by literally dropping one poison at each location, and you don't even need to worry about it anymore. The poison will continue to kill the enemies and you'll just be shredding them. It's insane. It's an absolutely insane build. Like, this is like what it is now. I don't even imagine what it's going to be like once we max this out with Ultimate Freyna on the 10th of October. Okay, let's talk about the rest of the things I have here to set this build up. So we've got the reactor. I've had a few questions from people asking what reactor we go for. Well, we go for toxic and we go for tech because of course the skills we're using are tech, and then the skills you want at the bottom, ideally you want to just match that up. Like for max damage, toxic skill power boost and tech skill power boost, in my opinion, would be probably best in slot to ramp up damage. But of course, you could potentially go for other things too. If you get something that maybe has one of those damage boost ratios with something like, I don't know, something like skill duration or maybe skill range or effect range, maybe crit damage or crit, those things would still be pretty good and definitely helpful. But I think having the two power boost ratios is definitely the way to go as far as more poison damage is concerned. And then as far as the components go, there is various different options you can do with components, and I haven't even fully really kind of redefined these components and kind of like min-maxed them in the best way possible. Right now, you can see I'm just using the Slayer set. It works. It gives me an extra 26.1% skill power. Yes, there is an additional skill cost, but we don't really lose much MP in this build. I never really run out of MP much, and if I do start to get low, there's normally blue items all over the floor anyway, especially doing Kuiper mining. I just go and grab those. So I've never really experienced a choke on the actual MPs, so not a big issue having it. The skill cost an extra 15%, but having the skill power at 26.1% extra means my poison overall is going to do more damage. And my Slayer set is filled with lots of HP, lots of defense, so it kind of works fairly well. Now there are some other options you can do. There is an actual Venom set that you can get from Swamp Walker, and the Venom set actually will give you extra toxic boost. I can show you from my storage here, because I do have a couple of pieces of it here. There we go. The Venom Essence processors and stuff, like it comes with 6.2% toxic skill power as the 2-set bonus. So you could potentially go for like a 2-set bonus with Venom set, and then you could possibly go for another 2-set bonus with something like the Annihilation set to give you skill duration. So you're getting extra toxic damage and you're increasing the skill duration as well. So that's another potential option you could go down. Or you could just go for the full poison set. I mean, you do more damage and get more HP buff and stuff when they're fully stacked on poison. So, I mean, that might just be the option too. Either way, there's definitely a few different routes you could go down when it comes to the components. And then the last thing is the Secret Garden. Honestly, this gun, for Freyna, is just pog. Like, it's extremely good. If we take a look at the details here, you can see it has a unique ability called Pest Control, which I know you can't see right now because my camera's in the way, so we're just going to move that across. You can see here we have Pest Control, and when it's maxed out, ideally you have all the duplicates. I do have all the duplicates here, so this is what the unique ability on the Secret Garden looks like when it's completely maxed. Okay, so you have a skill cost of 0%. It goes down to 0. For this to activate. Normally when you activated Pest Control, there would be a skill cost involved, so it would take it off your MP. When you get this maxed out, it's 0 cost to your MP for this to activate. You get a 50% chance, so it's a flip of a coin as to whether or not this is going to activate, and it does proc very, very often. And that is every time you activate a tech skill, which is what we're doing. We're throwing poison down, which are both tech skills, the 1 and the 3. You're going to be activating pest control, which is going to give you extra firearm attack, but most importantly, it's giving you a stack of skill power at 16%, which means overall you're going to get a max stack of 3, which is 48% extra skill power, and it's a 10-second duration, so this lasts for quite a good amount of time. You know, the enemies are going to be exploding all over the screen. If you're constantly firing at the poison, then you're going to keep these stacks up. Of course, once we max ultimate Freyna out and we get nimble fingers in and have all that extra cooldown, we should have our 1 up almost all the time, so we'll be constantly spamming the 1 to be able to, like, you know, get this running all the time. I mean, I don't know, like, if we're going to spam the 1 constantly, our MP might start to go down, so we might need to look at something like MP collector, because we're going to be killing so many enemies on the screen, especially during things like hyper mining. We might need MP collector just to keep pushing up our MP so we can keep spamming the 1. I don't know yet. I need to do some more testing on it once I start working on the actual full ultimate Freyna build, but for now, this build actually slaps. With regards to the secret garden, I haven't finished my build yet, but if you want an idea of where I'm heading on this, I can give you a sneaky peek on how my secret garden's looking. You can see here the front stats are looking pretty solid with firearm attack, firearm critical hit damage, toxic attack, and firearm critical hit rate. This gun has a very high critical hit chance and damage, so having the crits on the front this time works out really well. And if I show you the build inside, I'm still working towards trying to recatalyze a couple more times so I can get my last mod in, but you can see this is what we're looking at, and the gun itself has 75.7% firearm critical hit rate, which is insane, with 4.7% critical hit damage so far. The last mod I actually want to put in here is going to be a weak point mod, so I want to put this weak point sight up here so I can increase my weak point damage by 0.52, which will take the total weak point damage up over 2x, which will be kind of nice. I think it'll be a nice amount of extra damage when I'm actually attacking enemies and stuff, help out a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and put that in, but I just need to do a couple more catalysts on this to finish it off. I run this with sweeping squad because when we're killing enemies, we want to increase our firearm attack, and this is really nice, and plus at maxed out level, it's 100% chance to proc every time, so I'll take that 30% extra firearm attack for sure. That's going to give us a really good amount of extra damage, and then everything else here is all crit rate and damage basically. So yeah, it's an extremely good gun. I like this gun a lot, and it works really, really well with Freyna. It's not just good with Freyna either, it's good with people like Ajax, basically anyone that's proccing tech skills. So, and with Ajax, it's even better because the Secret Garden also has an ability where you use a dimension skill and it gives you back special resource. Now, Freyna doesn't have special resource, but someone like Ajax does. So with Ajax, it works really well. And I'm going to have a video up very soon on my Ajax Secret Garden build. I'll go for it fully because I have just also finished doing Ajax. But yeah, guys, that's basically all I wanted to go through today with you. I wanted to let you know that Freyna is awesome. The new Contagion mod is an amazing at clearing mobs. In fact, I would go as far as definitely saying it's now dethroned Bunny and being a better clearer than Bunny. I've gone into hyper mining and I've seen bunnies leave the game because they know they're not going to be able to hit anything because Freyna's there with Contagion. So finally, after 3.5 months of the game being out and Bunny being on top, looks like she has been dethroned. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this build and everything. Give this a go. Like I say, there's zero investment to get this build going. You know, Secret Garden, even though I've got it quite leveled up, isn't necessarily essential to make this build work, so don't feel like you have to have a leveled up Secret Garden for it to work, but definitely take a bit of time to go and farm a solid reactor because that will definitely help you a whole bunch. And it doesn't even matter if it's a purple one, just get something that's got good stats on it and matches up with the tech abilities, and it will just boost that toxic damage enough so you can actually clear all the enemies on the screen. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to press like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you later. Until then, stay safe, and of course, peace out.